If you like our video, like and subscribe. France. France is a country located in Western Europe, bordered by Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, and the Atlantic Ocean. Its capital and largest city is Paris, which is known for its iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and Notre Dame Cathedral. With a population of over 67 million people, France is the second most populous country in the European Union. It is also a popular tourist destination, attracting over 89 million visitors each year on average. The best time to visit France depends on what you want to see and do, but generally, the summer months of June to August are the busiest and most crowded, while the shoulder seasons of spring and fall offer milder weather and fewer crowds. Famous cities. Paris, brimming with history and romance, Paris has a special magic that is discovered by wandering its riverside pathways, medieval cobblestone streets, and graceful tree-lined boulevards. Paris is filled with sights such as Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Sacré-Cœur Cathedral, Moulin Rouge and much more. Nice offers the best of both worlds, art collections on par with those of Paris plus the sunshine and stunning scenery of the French Riviera. Nice filled with sights such as the Negresco Hotel, the Museum of Asian Art, the Botanique de la Ville de Nice, View Nice, the Old Town. Marseille, travelers visit Marseille to soak up the vibrant energy and exotic ambience of this authentic working seaport. Marseille filled with sights such as Notre Dame de la Garde, Le Vieux Port, the Old Port, the Marseille History Museum, Calanques National Park. Bordeaux, world-renowned for its wine, Bordeaux is surrounded by vineyards. The historic part of the city is UNESCO World Heritage Site. Bordeaux filled with sights such as the Grand Theatre, Palace de Quinconces, Basilica of Saint Michael. Lyon is a historical city founded by the Romans. It was an important region for silk production and weaving from the Renaissance through to the 19th century. Lyon filled with sights such as the Odeon of Lyon and ancient Roman theatre, Museum of Fine Arts of Lyon, Lyon Cathedral. France is famous for the Eiffel Tower. This 1,063 feet tall wrought iron tower is the most famous symbol of France. The Louvre Museum, located in Paris, the Louvre Museum is one of the most popular destinations in the world. This iconic institution established in 1793. Notre Dame de Paris, located in Paris, it is one of the oldest Gothic cathedrals in the world. The Palace of Versailles, the unique atmosphere of this place, whose construction began in 1623, takes us back in time, giving us a glimpse into the life of the nobility during the Renaissance. One never tires of wandering through the Hall of Mirrors. Moulin Rouge, established in 1889, Moulin Rouge stands testimony to the many changes that have taken place in the history of art and culture. Disneyland Paris, this famous park is located in Marne-la-Vallée. Arc de Triomphe, this famous historical structure in Paris was built between 1806 and 1836 to honor Napoleon Bonaparte's army and commemorate his victory in Austerlitz. The Mont Blanc, it rises about 4,808 meters above sea level, which makes it the highest mountain peak in Western Europe. It is popular for hiking and climbing routes. The French Riviera. The French Riviera or Côte d'Azur is another popular spot in France, which is a hot favorite among the tourists. It stretches across the Mediterranean coast. Cannes Film Festival. Founded in 1946, the Cannes Film Festival is one of the most famous events in the film industry, held every year in May. French wine. A list of the famous things in France will remain incomplete if one does not mention French wine. Fashion. France is also famous for its fashion. It is one of the 4 major fashion capital of the world. Food. A list of what France is famous for would be inadequate if one does not mention its gourmet food. Every region in France has some special dishes. The Tour de France. It was organized for the first time in 1903, and is known for being the most famous bike riding competition in the world. France famous meals. Boeuf bourguignon, named Boeuf bourguignon after the famed red wine from the Burgundy region of France. This dish combines a nice fatty cut of beef with a dry Pinot Noir and plenty of fresh vegetables to create a hearty and indulgent stew. Escargot. Snails with parsley and garlic butter. The snails are served warm either inside their shells or in a specific dish fashioned with 6 to 12 small compartments. Ratatouille, featuring a colorful collection of eggplant, zucchini, peppers, onion and tomatoes. Ratatouille can be prepared by either baking all the vegetables like a casserole or sautéing them with olive oil, garlic, salt and pepper. Jambon beurre, the bread, always a baguette sliced neatly down the center, must be freshly baked. The ham is the best for jambon de Paris, sliced thin, free from additives and preservatives. Pot au feu, made with meat, root vegetables, herbs, spices and bone marrow, which are prepared together but served in separate courses. The marrow starter, followed by the broth and then finally the meat and vegetables. Tarte tatin, the buttery simmering tarte tatin, essentially an upside-down caramelized apple tart, is famous around the world for its rich flavor and unique history. Chocolate soufflé, the distinctive airy texture comes from separating the egg whites from the yolk and whipping them into a stiff meringue before folding them back into the chocolate butter. Soufflés are served hot and fresh from the oven. Crème brûlée, the sweet vanilla custard flavor contrasted with the almost bitter flavor of the brûlée, topping the crunch of the caramelized sugar against the smooth, creamy texture of the custard underneath. How much France trip cost? Accommodation. 1-star hotel expect 40 to 50 euros. 3-star hotel expect 60 to 85 euros. 4-5-star hotel 125 to 400 euros. Airbnb is good for families and friends and can start from €150 up to €1,000, depending on location, size and finishing level. Food. Street food €8. Decent meal €10 to €15. Mid-range restaurant, 3 courses, €25 to €35. Luxury restaurant with landmark view, up to €100 and maybe more. Transportation. Metro and bus ticket is around €2, and 10 ride ticket €14. Train between cities starts from €20, depending on trip length and train level. Taxi and Uber expect for average daily of €30 per person. Activities. Tour Eiffel roughly €15, Louvre €20. You might consider a Paris tour for around €200 or a 3-day Paris pay that will grant you entrance to all the major sites. For a France trip, if you are on small budget, expect to spend €110–150 per day. Average traveler expects to spend €200 to €300 per day. If you are seeking luxury, expect to spend from €400 to €1,200 per day. Is France safe? France is very safe to visit, as the likelihood you will be a victim is very low. Just keep a close eye on your belongings and you should be fine. What not to do in France? Never speak louder than everyone else, especially at night. The French are pretty respectful of other people when it comes to noise level. Never expect a big savory breakfast. The French do not really do breakfast in a big way, and it's very sweet in taste. Never assume cars will stop at pedestrian crossing. Cars will not stop automatically to let pedestrians cross. Never wave wildly to waiters to get their attention. You will be seated, and then the waiter will come to you. Never wait until a space on the beach comes free. French people are not backward in moving in any available spaces, so do the same. Never underestimate how far a few French words can go. A lot of people do speak English and will try to practice as when they know that you do. To sum up, France is one of the most visited countries in the world, attracting millions of tourists each year. There are several reasons why France is such a popular destination. Firstly, it is home to some of the world's most famous landmarks and attractions, including the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and the Palace of Versailles. Secondly, France is renowned for its cuisine, fashion, and art, which draws visitors from all over the world. Thirdly, the country has a rich history and culture, with fascinating museums, architecture, and traditions to discover. Lastly, France has stunning natural landscapes, from the beaches of the French Riviera to the mountains of the Alps, which offer plenty of opportunities for outdoor activities and adventures. All of these factors make France an irresistible destination for travelers looking for a unique and unforgettable experience. Thanks for watching.